Hello, listener. This is Coda, sometimes host of Ministerium Radio. How are you this fine evening? Has the moon touched the earth? Has it bent gravity around you? It's okay if it has. Instances such as these require extreme calm, almost as if you are in shock. Let yourself melt into the being of your body. Focus on your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good job. You successfully navigated your way through a very scary ordeal. I'm proud of you, listener. Very proud. As proud as a mother owl when she guides her fledgling owlets from their first leap from the nest to their last pin feather breaking. If you continue on like this, one day at a time, aiming to breathe through terrifying events like a satellite colliding with her primary body, you'll be well on your way to peace. We have a very special contribution today, listener. I'm going to dive right in. Proportion by Harmony Lewis. The world is the right size. I know this. I know it's the right size because I've measured everything. And when I say everything, I mean it. Everything you can think of has been measured by me. It's the purpose of my existence. I consorted with the Androgyn and saw the beginnings and endings and everything in between. I could tell you about each and every molecule, atom, and particle floating around in this big void that is existence. I could tell you about everything sinking into non-existence as well. But that would all be a waste of breath. I know, because I also measured the purpose of all things. So I know what is without purpose. That brings me to my point. The purpose of this missive is to warn you. You need to know that you are an aberration. This dimension in which you exist is an aberration. It is all mistakes. It is not supposed to be here. It is not supposed to be here. It is not supposed to be. You're aware of this little experiment and know that it doesn't fit. It's like a bulbous sac hanging off the side and they won't have it. Can't see the bigger picture. They can't see that this bulbous time you found yourself in is supposed to be. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it. It is an aberration, but it is meant to be. It fits perfectly and is an exact mirror of the aberration on DIM-5799PF-729. Is not yet aware of this mirror. They don't know that together these two sacs are equal to one sac. They don't know that the spaces around you are the same as the spaces around DIM-6173AC-610 and DIM-9800UY-657, and that changing things will cause a big space, a big hole, a complete imbalance. I consulted the Androgyn and your options are clear. Your options are to grow to a size consistent with DIM-6201AR-354 and DIM-6201AR-355, so your presence is not such a noticeable aberration, to relocate, or to disappear. Of these options, disappearing is likely the easiest. I've included directions on how to disappear from on the subsequent pages. Please read them carefully and execute them as well as you can. The Androgyn made clear its high regard for your aberration. The movements within it please it greatly. The following is the process you will need to follow in order to disappear. Again, I caution you that any deviation from these instructions will result in outcomes most perilous, most undesirable, most foul. Contact. You have been in contact with them before, though you might not have realized they were Agent 68200-AP6. Do not repeat this agent number to anyone. Doing so will result in immediate and drastic action to contain the spread of this information. They are under strict orders to keep their true identity hidden. If you have not already discovered their identity, you will need to prior to proceeding. It is of utmost import that you follow the recipe exactly. Failure to do so will result in de-atomization and subsequent destabilization of your zone. This is not strictly a physical process, but one that affects the waves between cells and the inarticulate that flies between synapses. Any deviation from the recipe will result in a rending of space, time, and existence, not just for you, but for us all. The Androgyn has confirmed this is a highly volatile concoction and should only be used under dire circumstance and with the highest degree of attention to detail. After receiving the recipe from Agent 68200-AP6, mix it very carefully, then contaminate every space with. Spread it with caution as it is highly corrosive, especially when it comes in contact with organic matter. Inorganic matter may also suffer corrosion depending on the tensile strength of the particles that compose said inorganic matter. Once the contamination is thorough and complete, continue to the subsequent pages for further instruction. Oh dear. Listener, it appears the subsequent pages are indecipherable. I have never encountered this before. Since I cannot proceed with this, maybe I should find somewhere else to move forward. It was an interesting read though, wasn't it? I wonder if any of it was useful. Perhaps we should do our best to guess what the remainder of the procedure entails. Might we invite something glorious or something awful by doing so? Our next contribution was submitted without any attribution. We do not know to whom this story belongs. Unity is all the information we have received. There wasn't a particular day or time that could be marked as when it happened. It just was. I guess I noticed it when Bill mentioned it about 3 years back. We were out back having some beers and grilling some bratwursts when he turned to me, right as I turned to him, and said, "We're singing." It's a weird thing for a dude to say to his bud, but I got it. I knew what he meant, and it was a beautiful thing. What was great is that all of a sudden, we all knew what everyone else knew, or rather, they knew what we know. Bill and I haven't had to speak a word to each other since. What one of us thinks, the other thinks. An unintended side effect of the merge is that our emotions are all the same and all spread out over the entire population. This means that everything is like a beige. We're all in a beige sort of existence. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I also wouldn't say it's good. It simply is. Now I know what Bill eats. He knows when I clean the windows. We both know when the field dries out in the summertime, and the lush spots make themselves known. We know what time to sneak out in the early morning hours to harvest the lightning bugs, and we know how to train them, to indoctrinate them into the merge. Once something is in the merge, there is a natural compulsion to bring other things in. What each thing seeks out differs. We aren't sure why, none of us. All of us are perplexed by this one point of post-merge difference. Maybe it's a kind of evolutionary benefit, to make sure the merge spreads across all things. While we haven't discovered how to fold plants into the merge, we think bringing in worms will then cause their adjacent bacteria to join. Then the trees whose roots absorb nutrients through the symbiosis with the bacteria will begin to merge as well. We don't have a plan. We just get urges. Like the urge to write this note and send it to you. While the merge has yet to make it to you, Don't fret, and don't doubt. It will find you. The merge will get everything. My listener, I'm not quite sure how I feel about the merge. Is it reassuring? Is it terrifying? Is my identity as an individual so important to me? Or is comfort more important? Perhaps I won't realize until the merge does find me, if ever it does. Listener, it's been a very exciting episode of Ministerium Radio, if I do say so myself. I really do enjoy spending time with you, way more so than hauling giant dead spiders to the incinerator. Thank you for tuning in. This is Coda, reminding you to enjoy the in-between moments.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Ministerium Miskatonic Radio. If you have a story you'd like us to read on the show, you can go ahead and contact us with the email in the description. And if you haven't already, go ahead and punch all those buttons below this video to be notified of future videos. That's all for now. Thank you.